Hey beautiful souls, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. Today, as always, I have a general reading for you, and as always with a general reading, only take what resonates and leave the rest. It is a timeless message and can be past, present or future depending where you're at on your healing journey. Spirit will always guide you to a message that you need to hear exactly when you need to hear it. For the easy channeling, I am going to use the pronouns he and she, but by all means swap those out if they do not resonate for you. Okay, I'm picking up on a feminine energy. That could be you or it could be someone around you. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Gender doesn't matter when it comes to feminine energy. Okay, we've all got masculine and feminine within us. It's just that at times we can embody more of one than the other. Okay, there could be a female that wants to communicate with you. We have Bridget, don't back down. Stand up for what you believe is right. Okay. I feel like there's a feminine energy with this blue as well. That's, for me, that's confirmation. It's like a bluey green, okay? But I'm getting communication. There's somebody who you may have had to put boundaries in place with. You could be dealing with a fire energy or somebody who's got a fire energy in their chart, okay? Someone who something about anger, okay? So you could be dealing with someone who's got anger issues or somebody who's angry with you for standing your ground. Okay, somebody thought you were going to come back, right, okay. You are dealing with potentially a specific female or someone in feminine energy, but it's not divine feminine energy, it's distorted feminine energy. But somebody is angry with you for your boundaries. And because they were either led to believe by someone else, or they believed and have been telling everyone that you would come back, and you haven't come back. You've stood your ground with a particular person. But there also feels like as I've said that, my stomach up to my chest has just got that like anxiety, that nervousness. Okay, so you may know who this is, or this could be the person that you're dealing with is feeling very anxious, very nervous because they were telling everyone, or they were being told by everyone, take it as it resonates for you, that you would back down and that you would come crawling back, and you haven't, and they're angry. I do feel that they're the ones that have been telling everyone that you'd come back, and they're angry potentially because it's making them look like a fool with regard to others. But I feel like there's a group of people that are also angry with this person, okay? So it could be that there's a group of people that are angry with this person because you haven't backed down, because you haven't gone back, and this individual said that you would. And then they're projecting that anger onto you because you haven't come back. But it feels like this group, it could also be that this group are angry with this person because they're holding this person accountable. They know that they are the reason that you've walked away, okay? But somebody's angry over boundaries. That to me is clarification, if you needed it, that these boundaries are necessary, okay? If people are going to get angry at your boundaries and take it personally, then it's a good sign for me that they are very much somebody that you needed those boundaries with, okay? We have Iksho, medicine woman. You are a channel for divine healing power. You're a healer. that doesn't mean that you have to actively be doing Reiki or anything like that. You could be a doctor, a nurse. Your voice could be very healing. So it could be something to do with your voice being a channel for healing for others. Maybe you're somebody who speaks up for others, and in stepping up, there's something to do with somebody realizing that when you put your boundaries in place, when you do that and you stand up for yourself, you're also doing that on behalf of others. You're doing that for others. You're not somebody. There's something about speaking up for others. It's that energy of you're not going to stand by and watch others be bullied or I was going to say misused, or like you're a voice for those who can't speak up for themselves or are struggling to speak up for themselves. You will speak up for them, and you will push them, not push them to the point where you're pushing too much, but like guide them and be that voice for them until they can do it themselves. Okay, somebody's realizing that about you. This may be you realizing that about yourself. Like you are a voice for others, but there's something to do about, right, okay, within this group, you standing up against this individual, speaking your truth, putting boundaries in place, and refusing to back down is inspiring and healing this group of people around this individual to do the same. It's something about there's somebody who's always managed to worm their way out of things and worm their way out of taking accountability. Yeah, fairness has just come out. Matt, fairness. This situation will be handled in a fair and just manner. You are walking karma. Okay? You don't care. The divine works through you, okay, to balance the scales. Now, you might not necessarily know when this is happening. You're just following your truth, your intuition, and doing what's right for you. And in doing that, the spirit, God, source, creation, whoever you want to believe in, is going to work through you. Okay, you're a vessel for the divine. So it's this individual that is really angry about your boundaries, not happy about it at all, is somebody that has always managed to escape accountability, and in doing that they've escaped karma. People around them have enabled them and they've kept going. You came along and went, not on my watch. I don't care who you are. So this person may be angry because they feel like they have a specific title when it comes to you. So it could be a family member, somebody who places themselves, has put themselves on a pedestal and has gone, oh look, I'm this, that and the other to them. I've done this, that and the other for them. They're never going to, I can do what I like basically, and they won't do jack spit about it. They underestimated your self-worth, your self-love, how far along your healing journey that you are. And I feel like there was some bragging towards this group or a group of people, and this group of people trusted and put all their faith in this individual that they would get you back, that it would sort of be brushed onto the carpet and it wouldn't be an issue. What's happening now is, so basically nobody's been able to stand up to this individual and stand their ground. Nobody has said, we're going, keep going, we're going to walk away and we're not coming back. Nobody has followed through with any. I want to say that this group have perhaps said things to this person, but in the form of threats. You didn't make threats towards this individual. You just told them, carry on and I'm going to walk away. The rest of this group didn't believe you because nobody else has been able to stand up to this person and hold this person accountable. And you went, yeah, I'm not like everyone else, because you're not. You're a vessel for the divine. You are divinely protected. You are divinely guided. You are chosen one. You're an earth angel. And you came in and said, not on my watch. And you said what you did. You walked away and you haven't gone back. And now this person is panicking because you're making them look like a fool. So they're getting really angry. Because you are somebody that is going to stand in your truth and integrity, regardless of who a person is to you. And what's happening now is this group is now realising that effectively they should have stood with you, that they should have backed you, because it feels like they've all wanted to stand up to this person and put these boundaries in place and follow through, but because of who this person is, they didn't feel like they could, so they've all backed down. So it's enabled this person to go, well, it doesn't matter what I do because you're all going to back down anyway. And you came in and said, no, that doesn't work with me. You want to act like a child? Let's treat you like a child. We're going to put boundaries in place and we're going to follow through, teach you how to be a decent human being. And you walked away. Or more to the point of not, teach you how to be a decent human being, but also learn that there are consequences to your actions. Okay, this group didn't expect you to follow through, and they're now inspired by the fact that you have followed through. You said you were going to do something. You warned them. This group were warned. This person was warned. You said what you were going to do. You said that you told them who you were and how you work, and that basically you have no issue standing by anyone, but you are going to do what is right. You are not going to enable. You're not an enabler. Okay, you're not. If something's not balanced, you're going to speak up and you're going to say it's not balanced, because you're giving people the opportunity to reflect on their behaviour and balance the scales. But at the same time, you're not going to force people to do that because they have free will. Okay, they have free will. So you'll give people the opportunity to witness their behaviour and the freedom to make the choice as how they're going to act on it. This person, this individual, was just like, I can do what I like. Karma doesn't bother me. They always escape karma because everyone else around them has let them get away with things and enabled them, so they've not had to face the consequences of their actions. Okay, you came in and said no. And this group is now inspired by your ability to stand your ground. In fact, it's actually quite intimidating. They're intimidated by you because you were able, just this one person, one or two of you, because I do feel like you did have someone who had your back, but mostly one of you, like, they attacked one person and came up against them in a group, thinking that in a group that they were more powerful, and you've proved them wrong. You've stood up to them on your own. Yes, there may have been people behind you, and that may literally just be your spirit team. But ultimately, it was a whole group of people against one person, and you've shown them true strength because they thought there was safety in numbers, right? And you were like, I don't need to gather a group of people. I don't need to gather an army, because you're so divinely protected, and you could see things from a higher perspective. You knew what was going on, and your level of healing and self-worth was outweighed their attacks. Okay, on the bottom we have Bast. independent. Your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. Absolutely. You have no problem acting alone, because there's strength that is more powerful than gathering a group. Like, if you've got an issue with someone, if it's big enough, you're gonna, like with this group of people, you're gonna allow them to witness their behavior, and then you're gonna make the decision based on how they behave as to what you do, because you have no problem standing alone. You have no problem. It's that you're going to stand up for. There's a saying there: stand up for truth and not truth. Stand up for what's right, even if it means standing alone, and that really kind of sums you up. Because when you're doing that, you're not only doing that for yourself, but you're sending out that energy across the world, across, time, space, dimension, and you're putting that energy out, and then that's just going to come back to you. You're helping to clear collective karma. And I don't think this group really grasped the concept of who you were. I feel like they thought it was all just like the big I am of, yeah, I'm like this, and this, but ultimately you weren't going to follow through, because that's who they were. I'm going to talk the big talk, but my actions don't correspond with that. They don't align with that. But you are exactly who you said you are. This is who you told them. This is who I am. This is what's going on. You have an opportunity to change it. You may not have used those exact words, but you may have highlighted the situation. If things don't change, I have no problem walking away. And they didn't believe you. They didn't believe you because they were seeing you through the eyes of their unhealed trauma, so through their own wounds. I'm really drawn. I've got this deck out that I completely forgot about. And I was really guided to get it out today. It's the Friends Tarot. So Friends could be significant here, okay? Either the TV show, maybe it's you're a fan, this person's a fan, or maybe this individual is or was, I don't feel like they are anymore, was a friend to you. Or it could be like someone, like, you can have really close relationships with your family, so they're not just family, they're like friends, so it could be that sort of situation, okay? But we're going to use this deck today. I don't think I've ever used it, so let's see how we get on. Okay, we have the Hierophant and the Empress. You're highly intuitive, like highly intuitive, but with the Hierophant here, this is confirming for me that you are the Hierophant is talking to me about lessons. So I feel like this is confirmation that you are walking karma. It's something to do with, like, I'm hearing secrets, but I would expect to see a different card for that. I can't think of the card. I can see the card. But this card is I'm hearing secrets. There's something to do with secrets. Something about, yeah, no, this is to do with you didn't hide who you were. You didn't hide who you were. This group is realizing you told them exactly who you were. That you weren't. At some point, they thought they'd been catfished, or that you were catfishing them. We have the Six of Swords and the Ten of Wands. See if I can get... What's the story here, Spirit? Okay. With this Empress card here, now the Empress in a traditional tarot deck is usually pregnant, okay, which can represent new beginnings. It can. It can also just represent that nurturing energy that somebody embodies, okay? The Empress is the divine feminine card. With this Ten of Wands, she's holding a baby, now specifically a little baby girl, okay, because with the pink. Now, I'm getting a couple of messages here, but with this secrets, what I'm getting is you didn't hide who you were. You were very transparent with who you are and what you do, and how that you're highly intuitive, okay? And that if someone tries to burden you or bring chaos to your door, and they try to project at you, attack you, and it's not just, it's not fair. If someone's trying to disturb your peace without just cause, you are going to walk away. This is the Six of Swords. This is about moving on, okay? You're going to take that energy and you're going to leave. You were very, very clear about this. Somebody didn't take it seriously. I don't think anyone took it seriously. This individual definitely didn't take it seriously, because they were like, no, I am who I am. Nobody walks away from me. I get away with everything. I've done... In their head, they were doing nothing wrong, right? Because they've never been held accountable. So even if they knew they were doing it, I wouldn't say they didn't know. I think they were telling others that they'd done nothing wrong, but they ultimately knew exactly what they were doing, okay? But they were trying to play innocent, play victim, and you were just like, nah. I feel like this person tried to make out that they tried to, reverse victim. They did the reverse victim card, that they were the victim, and when you walked away, I think people were like, oh yeah, they're just, they'll be back, blah, 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 because they're the perpetrator and I'm the victim. But because you haven't come back, people are now going, no, we were wrong. This person has been catfishing us with regards to playing innocent. And you, the collective, were very, very clear. There was no gaslighting at all about who you were. You made it very, very clear. The reason they're now believing what you said is because you predicted something. It's either because you told them exactly who you are and what you stand on, and if it's not balanced relationship, if it's not just and it's not fair, if you're coming at me and it's not just and it's not, there's something to do with you being blamed for something, this person or this group trying to hold you accountable. But because you knew you weren't in the wrong, you stood your ground and you didn't back down. But there's something to do with this group realizing that but at first, because you walked away, they thought you were just like throwing your toys out the pram or something. But now, because you've been gone for so long, and there's no sign of you returning, they're now realizing that if you were truly in the wrong, you'd have come back by now. And the fact that you're standing your ground is proving to them that you weren't in the wrong. And that you not coming back is holding not only this individual, but everyone who came against you accountable for their actions. You've moved on. You're not burdened. They're seeing that you're not affected by their attacks, by anything that's gone on, because you know who you are. You know who you are. But there's something to do here with about secrets. Something to do with the Empress. Like, you didn't keep it secret about who you are. But there's also something here to do with, because I'm seeing the Empress and this Ten of Wands has a baby, a child, a little girl on it. There's something to do with somebody thought or tried to make others believe that you had a secret child, that you were hiding a child. Could be specifically a girl. Or they may have tried to tell people, I feel like they tried to predict that you were getting pregnant and you were going to have a little girl, but that's not the outcome. No one's seeing a baby. No one's seeing a baby. And I think they're realizing that this person that's trying to make out that they're the intuitive one isn't actually as intuitive as they're making out, and that you are the intuitive one. And that your intuition, there's something to do with, you said something, you predicted something was going to happen, and your intuition is on point. We have the Nine of Pentacles. Like, he's got an award. So this is like, and as it came out, I just see this Empress sitting there like, yeah, I'm good. Like, you're successful, you're planting seeds of abundance, you're doing really, really well. There's an element of recognition within this card as well. Like, she's not worried about what people are saying and doing behind her back, and people trying to bring this, like, because you're going to transmute it. Someone's trying to load you up with all this chaos and burden, and it's just like she's side-eyeing it like, yeah, all right. Because you're going to transmute that energy. You're going to take that energy, you're going to transmute it, and it move you forward. Somebody was trying to burden you, to delay your rewards, to delay your abundance, to stop you, to either stop you or delay you in achieving something. Okay, with this Nine of Pentacles, Pentacles being earthly matters, it could be something to do with a promotion. It could be something to do with a relationship, so promoting your relationship status, getting promoted. So from like girlfriend to fiance, fiance to wife, that sort of thing. Or some sort of achievement, something that they knew was a big achievement for you. But somebody's realising within this group, someone is realising actually what you've achieved, you deserve, because you've had a hard, like, they're realising that you've been through a few things specifically that probably would have broken them. So everything that you're achieving now, all the work that you've put in to get to where you are, you deserve. So there's something here about recognition and reward. We have the Five of Wands and the Three of Cups. Yeah, this, whatever this is, somebody was trying to cause, somebody was gossiping, somebody was trying to cause conflict for you. But I'm feeling here with this Three of Cups. Three of Cups for me is about community, but it can also, it's all about, it can be about coming together. It can be about community. It can be, but it can also be about gossip. And I feel with the cheers I'm seeing, and the fact that it's come up with the Five of Wands, for me, there's arguments over gossip, over something that's been said, Okay, this is either people arguing over, and there's a group of people arguing over something that you said that has now come true, or something that they were told in as gossip about you that isn't, it's either not true or it's been, I want to say misrepresented, twisted. It's like it's not a complete truth. Either it's not a complete truth or it's something that's just not true at all, and that could be right. So again, coming back to this energy of this individual being the catfish and catfishing this group are angry with this individual because this individual made out that they were the one who was highly intuitive, that they'd predicted something about you, and it hasn't come true. It hasn't played out, and they were adamant that for a lot of you, I do feel like this is something to do with a child, a baby, a pregnancy, a hidden baby, like you're hiding a baby. This has come up in other readings before. So I can't remember which one specifically, unfortunately, otherwise I'd send you to those readings because they might give you more information on that. But that's going to be very specific for someone. So if it resonates for you, it resonates for you. If it doesn't resonate with you, please don't take it on as your own. But there's something to do with you keeping a secret and hiding some sort of baby, some sort of pregnancy. But the Empress card, like I said, could also be like new beginnings. So it could also be that someone feels like you were hiding, or they were gossiping about you hiding some sort of new beginning that you were having, okay? Like you're hiding something. You're not who you say you were. Something to do with this individual telling people that you're not who you say you were. They were basically making out that they were you and you were them. And that could just be as simple as whatever they did to you or were doing to you that you spoke up about, they were playing the victim and making you out to be the perpetrator, okay? And this has caused conflict within this group because this group are starting to realise that that's actually not true, and they've been listening to gossip and accepting it as truth. But it's something to do with something you said. Something, there could be 3 people specifically, could be women, involved in gossiping about you to a group of people. And I just heard making shit up to get a group of people to go against you, to cause conflict, because they wanted to cause conflict and chaos for you. They wanted to throw you out of alignment. They wanted to destroy your peace. Because they weren't at peace, they didn't want you to be at peace. Because I can see like they were celebrating because it was working. It was turning this group against you. But it ultimately, they celebrated too soon because it didn't affect you in the way that they wanted it to. And they were wrong about something. They predicted something, or they tried to. They tried to say that they predicted something to do with you, that they'd had some sort of premonition, some sort of dream, some sort of intuitive hit with regards to you. And it was a lie. They hadn't had it at all. What they did was they saw you, or they made an assumption, and they said that they'd had some sort of premonition, some sort of dream, purely because they wanted people to look at them like, oh, they're a seer, they're so this, they're so intelligent, they're so this, look how wonderful they are. They were trying to get, but it was a lie. They hadn't had that premonition or anything at all. They're not as intuitive as they seem to be making out. It's you, the collective, that are the intuitive one. They were literally trying to be you. They they wanted to be you. They didn't like who they were, so they tried to say that who they were. Every time they were talking about you, they were telling this group of people who they were, not who you were. You weren't gaslighting these people at all. You weren't catfishing them. You told them exactly who you were, how intuitive you were. But because they trusted this individual, they didn't believe it. But there's now conflict within this group over lies, gossip, rumours. I feel like there's a divide within a community. A divide within a community. They're all fighting with each other. It feels like they're all fighting with each other, but all ultimately attacking. I wouldn't say they're attacking. Well, if they are, it's not an unjust attack. They're now, I'm going to use the word attacking. They're now attacking this individual because it's this individual that started this all off. And they're now trying to, like, come at this individual. It's not unjust, though. It's this person's karma. We have Knight of Wands. And we have Two of Cups. This is all coming about because you and another person have disconnected. You've walked away and you're doing what's right for you. Okay, this has all come about. Ultimately, everything that this person was trying to do in destroying your peace was because you were doing what was right for you, and it may have involved another person, because we have the Two of Cups here, but Two of Cups is about partnership, okay, so it doesn't have to be romantic, a romantic partnership, although I do feel that very strongly, especially with the lobster here. It could be a business partnership, it could be a work partnership, it could be another friendship, it could be that you were spending time with another family member, something like that, okay? But it all ultimately, you were just doing and making decisions that were right for you. And this individual didn't like it, so they tried to destroy that. And I feel like this group are now realising that ultimately you were just trying to do what was right for you, and this person was just jealous and envious. And we have the Star. The Star to me, again, is giving recognition. That to me is confirmation of what I've just said. You also have Star quality. You are a healer. I was going to say an Earth Star. I meant Earth Angel. That basically you've got all this. You've got the balance. That you're balanced. So somebody might have tried to say that you, something to do with you not being able to hold down a relationship, that you are not relationship material, or that your person's not, and using that to try and turn this family against you. On the bottom of the deck we have the Knight of Pentacles. This has been a long time coming. This karma that's being served to this individual and potentially this group has been a long time coming, okay? It's been a long time coming. And everything that you're reaping has been a long time coming because of the seeds that you've planted. It's taken time to grow and germinate, and it's now time to start reaping the rewards of your hard work. And part of that for you is this connection that you have with another person. This could even be your relationship with a child, okay? Somebody may even be jealous of a relationship between a parent and child. But there's conflict within this group because they're now realising that you were just trying to do what was right for you. You weren't going out of your way to be nasty to this individual, to leave them out, to whatever they've been saying that you were doing to them, that you weren't going out of your way to cause trouble for them or the family, that ultimately what you were doing was exposing what wasn't just and fair within, what wasn't built on a firm foundation, so that they had the opportunity to sit down, work things out and build things from a firm foundation. They had a choice between love, they had a choice of two paths, love or fear, abundance or lack. They chose lack, and they're out all now realising they made the wrong choice. They made the wrong choice, that they should have chosen a different path. Again, this doesn't have to be about babies. The secret is that you were just... I forgot what I was going to say then. There's something to do with you moving forward, regardless of whether this is about a baby or a new beginning within your life, a new relationship, a new job, career, whatever it was, you were moving forward with your life. And this person didn't like it. They were jealous and envious because maybe they felt like they were getting left behind. But they had a choice. They could have done the work and gone with you. They didn't have to make... If they hadn't have made the choices that they did to turn this group against you and attack you, they could have gone with you. And when they realise that, that is going to be a massive kick to the gut. Okay, let's get some confirmation or any other information that we need to know about this situation, please, Spirit. We have Confucius, I can't pronounce that, and Xing Fu. You have come a long way along the path of mastery. Learn now from your own soul. Where the light of ancient knowledge shines, you are now ready to receive everything. Confirmation, you are ready and open to receive everything that you have been working towards, all the seeds that you have been planting. It's now time to reap the rewards of that. All the work that you've put in. That could just be with regards to a new level of self-love and self-worth within you. That could be the next step in your relationship with another person, whether it be romantic or platonic. We have Eriu and Lotus. Trust your judgment, believe in yourself and in your truth. Absolutely. And that's right there with the Empress. And the white of the dragon with the sword. I was about to say sword of truth. And she's holding it up. It's giving me, I know exactly what's going on here. I know exactly who I am. I know my truth. And I'm going to stand in that. Okay? It's giving me that energy of the Queen of Swords, of I know when to pick my battles, I know when to keep my mouth shut, and I know when to put boundaries in place and stand on them. But I do feel that there is a feminine energy. Okay. I just heard someone wants to test your boundaries. Okay, so there is a feminine energy specifically. I'm feeling feminine energy, but I'm also seeing an actual male. So it could be a male with feminine energy, or male in their feminine energy, or it could be a man and a woman, a masculine and a feminine, wanting to approach you. Because the sword is communication. excuse me, that confirmation there. There's something to do with purity and innocence. Somebody's realizing you were innocent. Somebody's had a realization that you were innocent and they want to talk to you about it. Interesting. Use your discernment. I would question why now. We have Zadkiel and Grazalou. The time for being passive and accepting begins now. Let go of all desires, be patient and prepared. The right moment will come. Everything has its time. Yeah, that kind of confirms what I was feeling. As I said about somebody coming towards you, I had that confirmation, but my stomach has just growled again in confirmation. And I was going to say, but I didn't say it, and I wish I had. There is a couple of people that want to come forward and communicate with you because they're realizing you were innocent. They're realizing just how pure your heart is, that you're not an ice queen, but at the same time, you're cold towards them, and they need to release some fear before they can come towards you. Okay, they are scared to approach you. They're scared of you. They're intimidated by you because they know you're intuitive and that basically you were right and they were wrong. So they need to release their ego around. They need to let go of. It's their pride and their ego in. They've held on so long to having to be right that they're now having to admit that they were wrong, and that's a really tough pill to swallow. And they need, in order to approach you, they've got to let go of that. They've got to let go of that. Otherwise, it's not gonna. Because if they don't let go of the pride and the ego and come towards you, and because the thing is they don't want to have to admit to you that they were wrong. But if they try to come towards you, still in that energy of needing to be right, then they're just going to push you further away. They've got to come correct. They've got to come in, and if they want to try and move forward or have any chance at making things right, they have to come in truth and integrity. They have to come with accountability. That you can't have, if somebody doesn't, you can say sorry, but if that doesn't come with accountability, then it's not a genuine apology. So they need to clear that energy of pride and ego first. And they know that they've kind of got to come in. There's this energy kind of that, because there's a couple of things going on with them specifically. If they come to you and apologize, you could reject them. You could reject them anyway. So they could come in with accountability and you could still reject them, and that's your free will choice. That is absolutely your free will choice. In not coming towards you with an apology or accountability, they are impacting your free will choice to choose what you do about it. Okay? So effectively, in that instance, they're building up karma. Okay? The other thing is about a belief system or an experience that they've had. Again, they're coming from unhealed trauma of when you've done something wrong, or you know you've done wrong and you apologize to someone, and then they hold it over your head and go, I told you so, or that kind of energy. They also don't want to feel that from you. I don't feel like that's who you are at all. I don't feel like you're that way inclined. But that just proves to me that they're still viewing you through the eyes of their unhealed trauma and who they are, or their experiences, and not actually viewing you as you are. They're not realizing that in doing that, if they feel that judgment from you, that is you reflecting back at them, where they're judging themselves and shaming themselves. Also, if you do have a situation where you go and apologize to someone and you take accountability and they look at you like, I was right, ha 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 ha, I was right, you were wrong, I told you so, that's on them, that's not on you. You did the right thing, you apologized and you took accountability. So if someone does react in the way of I told you so, or holds it over your head in some way, makes you feel small, instead of just saying thank you for apologizing, then that's on them and they still have work to do. Okay. With Zadkiel is to do with the violet flame of transmutation. So there's definitely some sort of transmutation around truth that needs to happen, around communication, and that's also given me confirmation that this individual manipulated the truth. Okay, that the truth that this person was spouting or believed to have been spouting was not grounded in truth. The rumors, the gossip, what they were saying about you was not grounded in truth. You are very much grounded in your truth. We have on the bottom of the deck, we have Melahel and Chumhatchadlu. Melahel has spoken. I am the light in the darkness. I will guide you back to divine love. All lower energy must bow before my power. 100%. That's who you are. You guide people out of the dark into the light. You have no issue facing darkness because it can be overcome. You have this balance between the light and dark. You may have started off as a light worker, but you're now a light worker and a shadow worker. Okay, it kind of goes hand in hand, because you can't have light without dark. You have to have the balance. But you're somebody who knows you're on a path of love. Whether you've healed your shadow to the point that even when you come from your shadow self, it's coming from a place of love. It's that balance between the masculine, the feminine, the dark, the light, and the shadow isn't a bad thing. It's about stepping into our shadow when we need to stand our ground, but doing it from a place of love, so having healthy boundaries in place, and that's absolutely what you embody. And again, with this green energy, that's just confirmation to me that you are a healer. There's something to do with the heart chakra. Your heart chakra is very open. You're very loving. You're only cold or perceived to be cold when you put boundaries in place with people that need it. So, but when you are cold to people and you cut them off, you become very intimidating to them. Okay. That's not your problem, that's a them problem. They're intimidated by you. You're not going out of your way to be intimidating. Okay. I'm going to close this reading out with some moon magic affirmations. We have just had a new moon. We're just on the back end of a new moon, as I'm recording this, so they seem appropriate. New moons for me personally are about new beginnings, okay, and so that's just more confirmation. Okay, let's get some affirmations and close out this reading, because I don't feel like there's much more to say about this energy. Okay. I am loved beyond measure. Affirmations are positive statements about how you want to be, how you want your life to be, and used on a regular basis. They can really help to maintain a positive mindset, okay? There's something about it being important to maintain your spiritual practice. Like, if you've been slacking a bit lately, just make sure that you're, you know, nothing to worry about. I don't feel like there's any dangers or anything. It's just purely from a mindfulness point of view to keep yourself, your energy clear, so that you're not taking on other people's stuff. Okay, these ones don't want to talk today. What's going on? Can I have some affirmations, please? Thank you. Beauty raises my vibration. I seek it out for healing and joy. Yeah, you're just focusing on, you're cutting out your boundaries are not about just cutting people out, people, places, things. Okay, it's about cutting out what is not serving you, what is not helping you to grow as a person, ascend. It's about focusing on what's nurturing you instead of what's trying to drain the life out of you. Okay, let's get one more, please. Thank you. I will not remain stuck. I choose to change. Absolutely. You're transforming this energy. You're not staying in the past. You've let it go. You're not bothered by these people and what's going on. You may have some sort of interest to see what's playing out, but you're not attached. Like, you've detached from them and what's going on, and you're just letting things play out. But obviously, if there's messages coming up for you, then you're open and willing to hear them. It's not like you're not closed off to, it's not a case of, oh, I'm done with this situation, I don't want to know anymore. Because that's kind of giving me the vibe that there's still more healing to be done around it. It's a case of, I'm done with this situation, I'm moving on, but if Spirit's got messages for me that I need to hear about this situation, then I'm open and ready and willing to receive them. Okay? I choose to take a higher perspective and widen my views. Yeah, just confirmation that you see things from a higher perspective, you see this situation from a higher perspective. And any messages that come up about it is to do, potentially to do with more shadow work that needs to be done or reflecting on it. It's about, in some way, it's just validation, isn't it? It's like Spirit validating your intuition, effectively, and the situation, and reminding you that they have your back, okay, and that you're on the right path. You did nothing wrong by standing up for yourself and putting these boundaries in place. They were very, very necessary, okay? And other people around this individual are now realizing just how necessary it was, and that you weren't doing things to be spiteful. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I really hope that this helped. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you soon. Namaste.